92.7 WOBM, Shawn Michaels with you. And today we're talking about a local author who's put together a brand new book that is very interesting. So that's why we wanted to have her come in. Jamie Landsman is in with us this morning. Jamie went to high school at Brick High School, attended Monmouth University and Rutgers, and has now put out, I believe, Jamie, your first book, right?
Yes, it's my first book.
Well, congratulations on that. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
It is called A Dog's Tale. And when you see the dog on the front cover, you're thinking maybe this is a fun animal book. But the story that is involved here is not a fun story. It deals with a serious topic. It started off as a children's book, but tell us how this evolved into what it is.
The book itself did start off as a children's book that I was writing for my graduate class at Monmouth University for clinical practice with addictions with Professor Costello. I have to give a shout out to her. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have the book. It started off as a children's book to address substance abuse and alcohol abuse. And then as I was writing it, it just became more real. And, you know, there is a disclaimer on the back just saying because of the themes in the book, discretion should be used. There's no particular age that the book is aimed towards. It's just depending on the child's development as far as kids are concerned.
So going into this, you wanted to put together a book, though, that dealt with addiction and alcohol abuse to be a serious topic. That was what your underlying theme of what this was going to be, even though it involved the dog.
Yeah, that was the underlying theme. I feel like in Ocean County especially, substance abuse is such an issue and kids are suffering through it, you know, pets are suffering through it. We're not hearing it from their point of view. And people that are struggling with these addictions, I feel like this is an angle that nobody has tried reaching out from before. So I thought maybe it would be a change and it would be able to reach people who are more resistant.
Now, what's interesting about the book is that the book is from the dog's perspective. This is our canine friend watching the humans and seeing what's going on around him.
Yes, it is. Alice is the name of the dog in the book, and she just talks about, you know, her life as a puppy and how happy it was with her family. There's a trauma that happens within the family that leads to the mom abusing alcohol. She develops an issue with that. So the dog just talks about what she observes, the way the mother is treating the children, the way she's treating herself, the way she's treating Alice. So,
are we looking to have families read this and then step back and say to themselves, I never really thought about, you know, if you have a problem with addiction in a home, maybe they read this book and they step back and they say, I never thought of the lateral damage that I do by being involved in this situation. Is that kind of like what we're trying to hope that the humans reading the book will get from it?
Absolutely. And I don't know if you read the article in the Sandpaper that Rick Millerup had written, but he had quoted me when I had said, part of the idea I had gotten from watching the TV show Intervention, and the children will be sitting there begging their mom, please, mom, go get help. We're so worried about you. And all mom can say is, well, what about the dog? Who's going to take care of the dog? Because the dog doesn't judge the human when the human is using alcohol or using drugs. They don't hold grudges. They don't judge them. So it's a perfect best friend to have around if you are using, and it's somebody that can speak out and say, you know, you're hurting me, you're hurting yourself.
And if they could, chances are they would. And that, I think, is part of what, you know, Alice is saying in the book at times is like, look what's changing and look what's happening to the family here.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's really a neat thing.
Absolutely. I just felt like, you know, this needed to get out there. And I was asked, because this is such a unique idea that's never been done before, I was asked if I was going to self-publish. I was encouraged to submit it to publishing companies. But that's something that could take, what I learned from the process, a couple of years or so. And I feel like with the issue being so rampant in Ocean County with, you know, the overdoses and the drugs, that I really wanted this book to get out there now, and not just for the adults, for the children that are in homes where this is going on, and just to encourage them, you know, to reach out for help and that things can get better. And, you know, if they're in an unsafe environment, for them to speak up, you know, for kids that aren't living in their homes anymore, you know, to normalize it for them and so they don't feel so alone.
It is called A Dog's Tale by Jamie Landsman. And how do we get more information, Jamie, on the book? This obviously is a fantastic resource for families, maybe schools, things like that, where they're looking to get material that deals with the components of a family dealing with these issues. How do we go about getting more information?
Well, the website is www.sharingadogstale.com, and tale is spelled Tail. And my email is jamiealandsman@sharingadogstale.com. So you can email me through the website, through that email, or also Facebook. And there's links to the Facebook and the Twitter and all of that on the website.
Now, you have here more titles to come. When you say that, what do you mean? Are we talking more with Alice? Are we talking other types of projects? What does that mean?
At this point, it's going to be more with Alice. I do have a second book written.
And do you think, have you had kids react to the book? Does it help having a dog involved as the mediator, so to speak? I mean, it's got to make it a little easier. Maybe the kids feel a little less intimidated than some adult that they don't know who's sort of, talking to them.
Absolutely. I remember when I was younger, they had the DARE program, and they would have the police officers come into school and talk to us about drugs. And I feel like with Alice, it's definitely more engaging. It's less intimidating. And there was a child I was able to get feedback from. Her mom was having her read the story because she was having an issue with a loss of a grandparent. So the mother was using the book kind of to explain death and help the child deal with death. And it did help. It did help. Yeah.
And is Alice based on a real pooch in your life?
Alice is my dog. She's a real dog, but as far as the story goes.
Yeah. Does she know, that she's being a celebrity now, so to speak?
Alice does know she's being a celebrity. She does accompany me to the book signings. So she loves meeting new people, and she loves giving paw and signing her books.
Very cool. So when folks go to your website, they can find out more information about where you're going to be appearing with Alice and doing talks and such.
Absolutely. We do have one schedule coming up for Sunday, August 9th. It's going to be up at the Bookworm in LBI. Alice and I will both be there signing books and meeting everybody. It's going to be from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m.
And the website is sharingdogstale.com.
Right, and tale is spelled again, Tail.
There you go. There you go. Jamie Landsman, it's called A Dog's Tale. Thank you for being with us. I wanted to ask you when we wrapped up, were you a Mustang or a Dragon?
Brick Dragons.
You were Brick Dragons.
Yes.
Okay, I wanted to clarify that. So a dragon who's gone on to write some fantastic books and more to come. Jamie, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.